Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Week 11 in college football is here, and we are talking with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com, one of the sharpest college football betting analysts around, who covers one game with us every week. And this week he's chosen Michigan and Indiana. Very interesting game that you've chosen here, Steve. The market appears to be very uncertain about this game. Both the side and the total have three different widely available numbers. Indiana plus 12.5, 13, and 13.5 are all widely available on the spread, and 55, 55.5, and 56 are all widely available on the total. I guess I can kind of understand Indiana got a very close ATS loss to Iowa last week, so off the bye, that was a reasonable performance, but that still puts them at 4 straight ATS losses on their closing line. Michigan blasted Rutgers last week, got a nice cover on that one, but had 2 ATS losses before that. And the total, usually we think of Michigan as low scoring, Indiana as high scoring, but Michigan actually has 4 straight overs in a row in their last 4 games. Indiana has 3 straight overs. Understandable why there's confusion in this game, but you probably like that because that keeps the lines maybe a little bit out of whack compared to your personal rankings. What would you like to tell us about this game, Steve?
Well introduced, Peter.
Yeah.
Well, Michigan their defense is great. There's no doubt about it. Their total defense and their scoring defense, they're both number 1 versus FBS competition. So statistically, that suggests that they're phenomenal. And I'm just going to say, I'm not saying that is not true, but we just need to look at the average offenses that they've played. The average offense, the total offense that Michigan has played so far this year ranks 87th. So they have not faced prolific offenses. The average passing offense that Michigan has faced so far this year is 81st. So their statistics should be good. That's not to say that they're not excellent on defense, but it is to say let's consider the competition and let's look at what they're facing this week. They're facing Indiana. Indiana is 33rd in total offense and 34th in passing offense versus the FBS. And those figures are inclusive of the Big Ten's top quarterback, Indiana's Nate Sudfeld, being out for a game and a half this season, and the Big Ten's number 2 rusher in Jordan Howard being out 2.5 games. Now, Howard is the second leading rusher in terms of yards per game in the Big Ten, second only to Ohio State's Zeke Elliott, and that now, Peter, is by less than a single yard per game. So Zeke Elliott and Jordan Howard are going neck and neck in the Big Ten for the top rusher, top running back. One reason Michigan has been successful defensively is they're getting to the quarterback. They're harassing the quarterback. They're 19th versus FBS competition in sacks. Well, Indiana, despite passing very well with Nate Sudfeld, they protect their quarterback. They're 24th in the FBS in sacks allowed. So this is not necessarily a group that drops back and passes and gives up a lot of sacks. They do not. This is an excellent offensive line. And just to add to that, starting Michigan nose tackle Ryan Glasgow, he was in a sling in his left arm all week. I can't get confirmation whether or not he will be out. I think he's going to be out. But even if he's not out, he's certainly not going to be 100%, and that's only going to hurt Michigan's ability to get to the quarterback. Michigan is, so far this year, 5-4 against the spread. But they're just 1-2 against the spread in away games so far this year. Now, certainly a small sample size, but that you do need to look at the fact that they've only played 3 away games so far this year. This is going to be the 4th. Now, versus teams that have passed for at least 200 yards, Michigan is 0-3 against the spread. So it's happened 3 times this year. They lost against the spread every time. Well, Indiana's quarterback, when Nate Sudfeld has played complete games, so when he was not injured, he's played 7 of their 9 complete games. He averaged over 299 passing yards per game, so just about 300 passing yards per game. So if those statistics maintain and he gets over 200 yards, that is not good for Michigan against the spread. So what's awful about Indiana? What is awful about Indiana is their passing defense. It ranks 127th out of just 128 teams in the FBS, Peter. Truly awful. But Michigan's passing offense is not exactly poised to take advantage of that. They rank 94th versus FBS competition. We've seen them step up their passing game a little bit, and especially last week against Rutgers. But this is not, Jim Harbaugh's teams are not built to play like Mike Leach, like his teams, and just pass the lights out of you. So they're not exactly poised to take advantage of Indiana's greatest glaring weakness. In Bloomington, it's senior day. It's going to be senior day when they play. There are 10 listed senior starters, including quarterback Nate Sudfeld, slated to play their final home game of their careers. And it's versus number 15, Michigan. These guys, Indiana, they have not won a game in the Big Ten this year. They only won one last year. You want to talk about a motivated group to go out with a win against a top 15 Michigan team for the last home game on senior day. They're going to be motivated. So my conclusion, Peter, right now is, and it could change between now and kickoff, but I like Indiana getting at least 13.5 points, which, as you said, is widely available. But I'm actually waiting for somewhere to touch that Indiana plus 14, that being a key number. But if it doesn't happen, I would not buy points here. It doesn't pay to do that. And I would still take them at plus 13.5.
Excellent, thorough analysis. As always, Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. Your results speak for themselves at your website. Tell us about that.
Thank you, Peter. collegefootballwinning.com. All we do is college football betting analysis, even in the off season. We're a company founded on making betting recommendations algorithmically, and we call those algorithmic betting recommendations our formula. Our formula coming into this season, lifetime, was 62.75% against the spread. Now, I've only mentioned this twice in videos. This is the second time. We give out a free weekly pick, one betting recommendation per week. You just need to come to our site and register a username and password with us. Lifetime, we've done this for 5 years. We've been giving out free weekly picks every week of the regular season. We are 60.61% against the spread in those free weekly picks. And so far this year, we're 8-2 against the spread, giving out one free weekly pick every week. So if nothing else, come to us, get a free weekly pick. But we hope you want to take advantage of the full complement of our services. And if you do, you go to collegefootballwinning.com, put in coupon code SBR10. That's SBR10. You can get 10% off of any membership that we're currently offering. And we still offer a 100% money-back guarantee from now until the rest of the season. So please come to collegefootballwinning.com and use that coupon code. Get 10% off of anything that we're offering, SBR10.
Steve, thanks so much for joining us once again. Talk to you again next week for College Football Week 12.